Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Road to Glory Mondays. And you are live on Limitless Gaming as a YouTube channel. We are back with the Monday tier. It is round two, and I'm looking very much forward to this race. I cannot wait to get going. We are at Imola. Short qualifying will commence very shortly. But who's gonna come out on top from this race? We will jump to the standings while we're loaded in, while everyone's choosing up their tyre strats. Let's have a look, shall we, with the standings and see who is leading the race. So we had Hungary last round, and it was Josh McGill absolutely pretty much dominating that race. Was just untouchable for the win. In the end, he ran away with victory, and therefore the championship lead early doors after round one. Chuckle, the reigning champion, is following closely behind in P2. Paul Jones Jr., very solid race in P3. Chuck, even in P4. Aki P5. Prof 6th. AJ 7th. Danny 8th. Ginger 9th. And Matty Jones down in 10th. A few further back in the constructors, it is Mercedes leading the way, but only by 1 point. Haas very, very close behind. Williams a little bit further adrift, but there's only one round down, so there is absolutely plenty still to go in this season. Let's be honest. So let's see what can go on. Let's get up some of our. We don't need the tyres, do we? Let's be honest. We can see what's going on. We'll get rid of the temperature, but we will bring up the track map and see who is out. Coming up the pits. I think it's that Mazel's come in. Yeah, Mazel's the first driver out on the circuit. And if you are watching along at home, please do feel free to pop your comments in the chat below. Get involved in the stream. Join the race with me. I'm always interested to hear your opinions. Who are you rooting for? What do you want to see? What do you want to see less of? What do you want to see more of? And yeah, if I miss something as well on stream, because I've only got one pair of eyes and I do miss things from time to time. So yeah, as always, feel free, get involved. And also while we're on here, do check out the YouTube channel. Some really, really great content on there, especially the newly introduced moments of the week, which I'll remind you a bit later on in the stream. But that's a very, very interesting and well, actually I'm a big fan of it, feature that is coming out. We do a few highlights from the live streams for the weeks for all of Road to Glory's tiers. There's Monday tier, Wednesday tier and Thursday tier. Yellow flag set to 3, somebody slowing down, but we will watch Mazel's in the Alpine. He is the first across the line and start a flying lap. DRS wide open down the start-finish straight, and it's a little bit of a kink to the left, but a fairly easy braking zone to throw the car in through the first chicane. The Tamburello chicane used to be absolutely flat out back in the day, but reprofiled after the death of the great Ayrton Senna, and then it's through the second chicane, even higher speed there, very quick into the first one. They slow it down to the right, and then it's in for the hairpin, but still decent speed through there, about third or fourth gear really by the exit. And then up the hill you go, and this is where, if you're going to invalidate anywhere, it's going to be here. You throw the car in fifth gear, and that is about as close to the line as you want to get from the Alpine. This is a very good effort down into the dip, back up, on the right hand, double apex right-hander, and it's easy to lose the back ending and unsettle the car through there into the very awkward chicane. Got to take a lot of curb through there. Don't invalidate, don't make the car spin, don't do a Charles Leclerc. That was easily done. You can bottom these cars out and then into the final double left-hander. 290-degree corners, don't know their names at all, so don't quote me on that. If anyone does know the names, please again feel free, drop it in the comments. But round the last corner up to the line, DRS open, and that is going to set us off with a 1:16.633, which is immediately beaten by AJ on a 1:15.8. Lee Craig also slotting in P2. It's a great lap by these guys. Absolutely fantastic. Things you love to see. As Ginger also goes up there, and Paul as well. That's looking like a very, very strong opening lap from AJ there. We'll watch Aki as he rounds the final corner. We've got one of the Hasses, that is Chuckle, P2 in the championship, and look how close he is to AJ as Aki slots into the back of the grid at the moment of the last of the time runners. But yeah, Chuckle, look how close, 15.854 compared to an 8.45 of AJ. That is very, very close at the top, it has to be said. Bill's across the lap. Is he about to start one, or did he do a lap? He finishes the lap, and it's a 16.3, only just behind Paul. It's very tight there in that midfield. I mean, look at that, you know, very, very close. 0.4 of a second separate the top 7 at the moment, and if that isn't close, I don't know what is. Who else? Oh, we're looking at LGE on a lap as well, the other Alpine. I think we've also got Looney Man on a lap. I think Looney Man's about to finish a lap as well. So we'll just ride with him, and we'll go back to LGE as Looney Man crosses the line. What's it going to be? A 17.507, good enough for P11, and we'll follow the sister Alpine. 16.955 beats it, and very close to his Alpine teammate, running P8 and P9 at the moment. As who was that popped up? Was that somebody jumped up? Chuck, I believe it was Chuck, popped up into P5. I missed that one. I think we've got, is that Matty Jones about to come through the last sector? It certainly is, in the Ferrari. Home track of Ferrari, realistically, because it is kind of Italy. It's like a second home track, in a way. Probably more home of AlphaTauri, I think. I think their factory is a little bit closer. But there we go. Matty Jones goes into P10. Solid lap from him, and I think pretty much everyone done. We've got Ernie Burney on an out lap. He's just about to go on to his flying lap, so possibly the only driver on a flying lap unless anyone's gone for a second lap. So we'll watch with the Red Bull of Ernie Burney as he comes down into turn 1, throws that car in. A little bit of desyncing there, not great internet, but we can see what he's doing nonetheless. He is still there, throws it in through the chicane. And up to the hairpin he goes. It's looking a little bit muddy, that Red Bull, so I'm guessing he went off track on the outlap. Not ideal, but there we go. Do you have a Ferrari? Are they just stopped, or are they waiting? They are just waiting, I think. Looking at that. But we'll go back with Ernie Burney into the middle sector. Throws the car into the right-hander. I love that sequence of corners. So difficult to hook up perfectly. But very, very satisfying when you do get it right, it has to be said. You feel like you're absolutely on the limit. And that's neatly done for Ernie. Through that chicane. And down into the speed trap. And the DRS detection point, as you see on the track map at the bottom. The yellow denoting the speed trap. The green denoting the DRS detection point. Obviously not relevant here, but will be relevant in the race, and that's P19 for Ernie Burney. Danny, the only driver yet to set a lap. Lee Craig's on an out lap. Ginge on an out lap as well. Probably going to be the first of the runners to start a new lap. Paul also on an out lap. Mazel's back on an out lap. Royal Rumble also on an out lap. Following Ginge closely as well. So we'll watch as Ginge prepares and gets lined up for this lap. He gets slingshots out of the last corner, turns his battery off, but I don't think he has. No, he has not. He's going for a second out lap, so he's going to try and burn a little bit of fuel there. Should be an interesting call. We've also got Chuckle and AJ, both the top two coming on out laps, and I've only just noticed that we do not have Josh McGill in the lobby, so the championship leader will be losing the championship lead, I imagine, after today. I mean, it's not dead certain. He may keep it, but it would be a pretty extraordinary set of circumstances, I would have thought, to make that happen. Who have we got on a lap, though? I think Paul's is about to go on to a lap, so let's watch with the other Williams. See if he doesn't try dummy me as well, like Ginge did. And once again, out the final corner he goes. Trying to use as much of the track, build up as much speed as he can, and You know, it's a weird thing with the physics on this game, but it does work. Just gains you just that tiny bit extra. It's worth doing. Just keeping the car in the shortest trajectory then on the lap, but going up to the lap, you want it as long as possible to build up the speed through the first 2 chicanes. Look neat and tidy enough. Not using all the curb, but doesn't have to really through there. Let's see what he's like in through the very far chicane. He's very committed through there. Is the Williams of Poole, and that's nicely done indeed. A little bit wide of the apex to look through there, but very difficult to tell on this camera angle. And up the hill he goes. Can he keep it within track limits through here? Gets the car thrown in, and he goes very, very wide. And there it is, your first invalidation we've witnessed this evening. That is so easy to do. So easy to do. We've all done it, let's be honest. And Lee Craig, wow. What a lap for Lee. 15.663. That's a cracking lap, that is, from the Alfa Romeo. I'm sure he's going to be incredibly pleased with that. Buzzing at the thought of that. Chuckle, though, is on a lap. P2 in the championship. Got the best chance of taking the lead of anyone. The reigning champion also in the Haas now. He is 2/10 up with a purple middle sector. He's running up to the line and just about on the edge of the line. That is perfect. Up to the finish line he goes. Is it going to be pole? It certainly is. A 15.518. What a cracking lap from the Haas. Lovely, lovely lap from him. Anyone else on a lap? AJ. Oh, AJ's gone very wide. I think he's getting out of somebody's way. Ginger's going on a lap as well. Or is he set a lap? He's just set a lap. Just finished his lap. And he's seen it up to P3. Prodigy now goes into P3. And it's a great lap from Prodigy also. So some really, really good times going in here. Who else have we got on a potential lap? LGE has invalidated. Is that a McLaren on a lap? It could potentially be. Ride on or with him. Oh, very, very wide, but keeps it extra wide and uses the game's logic against it and gets away with the invalidation. I mean, we've all done that a few times, let's be honest. Not that any of us would admit to it, but there we go. I've clearly never done it. But 2/10, that purple middle sector for the McLaren. Can he string it together in the final couple of corners? And the final corner he goes. No, he's bailed on the lap. He's not happy with it. He obviously lost a bit of time through that chicane, which is a bit of a shame. But there we go with LGE. Mazzles, sounds like you have done it. I don't know what you're talking about, Mazzles. I've never taken advantage of that, especially not at the old term one at Silverstone. I can assure you that that is definitely not a place I've done it. Anyway, we move on before I start a track limits cheating scandal in RTG. Onwards we go. LG through the middle sector. He goes down into the last couple of corners. Can he join his Alpine teammate of Basil's, who is in the chat giving me some grief for my exploitations off track? Up to the line, LG goes. Can he match his teammate? Can he better him even? Well, he goes right behind him once again. And still going to be the number 2 in Alpine for now, but he is very, very close, hot on the heels of Mazzles. I'm sure Mazzles is a little bit worried. He does not want his teammate ahead of him because he wants preferential treatment on the pit stops. You don't want your teammate in front, a last minute safety car or anything, and you're ending up double stacking. It could lose you a lot of positions. Bugatti goes up to 12th, that's 16.7. That's a good lap from him. We've got the Mercedes of Phil WMZ, who has absolutely no front wing at all. He must have had a little bit of an issue there. We did miss that, but there we go. So he goes through. Andy Burney also possibly on a lap, I think. Is Prof on a lap? I was just about to jump to him and his name disappeared. He certainly was. P8 for RTG Prof. And not far behind Paul either. It's very, very close. The times between everyone You know, you gain a tenth or two, gain you a lot of positions. I say this week in, week out, but it really is true. It's such a competitive league, this. You know, no matter what pace you are, you're going to find somebody to have a battle with somewhere. Bugatti, is he on a lap? No, I don't think he is. Be a very competitive one looking at those time delta. Royal Rumble, no, not on a lap. I think we're getting a little bit of a lull here as lots of people. Yeah, there's Bugatti coming in. We're getting the 3-minute mark now. Everyone wants to sort of get ready. Ready for their final runs, but they don't want to be out too early. You want the best of the track. The track will rubber in, the track will get quicker as the session goes on. The game simulates that like it would in real life, which is brilliant. So always an advantage to get your fastest lap right at the end, because it will gain you another couple of tenths. Always worth doing. See a few more people coming on to outlaps now. I got Bill's teammate Golden Wolf currently bottom of the standings, not by much though. Him and Ernie Burney very, very close indeed. Royal Rumble looks like he's possibly on a push lap here. Looking at the attitude of that car through the first chicane, he is pushing as hard as he can. Through he goes, and he's 2 tenths up. Here's the AlphaTauri. And here he goes. Wide on board with him a little bit through here. See the apex, get the car turned in. Want to just clip the apex from the inside, and that is a little bit wide. And again, another perfect example of how easy it is to get a track limits violation there. So easy. Not going to watch for Bills as he goes into turn 1. No, he's doing another outlap yet again. Paul possibly about to start a lap. And once again, taking that line, get a slingshot onto the start, finish straight, the most amount of speed he can possibly get. And the Williams car number 69, down to turn 1 he goes. We'll go on board with him for a change. Just misses the apex of turn 1, gets the one on turn 2. There's a bit of curb on the exit, that's what we want to do there. And then there is a car in his way who ducks out his way quickly enough, but it might have put him into the chicane. That is a good line through that chicane though. Neat and tidy it is. It is a 10th up. He's just missed the apex into the hairpin a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. He's kept good speed through that hairpin, that's all good. And now, he invalidated here last time. He's going extra cautious. He's leaving room for manoeuvre there, and it will cost him a bit of time, but it'll make sure he gets his lap in. That's a nice, neat, tidy line through the double right-hander in the dip. Now into the ever difficult chicane. We're going to go into it. Takes one curb, takes not too much of the second one, runs it out to the track limits. That's nice. The Alpine gets it out of the way, and down into the second to last corner he goes. Pick your braking points wisely. About 75 yards, get the car turned in, just misses the apex, runs very wide, gets away with the invalidation, but he's going to have lost a bit of time by that. Up to the line, the William goes. Let's see what this is going to be. It's going to be an improvement, a 15.7 for Paul Jones Jr. That is a good effort from him. I want to see what's AJ doing. AJ is going slowly. Lee possibly on a lap. Also Chuckle is just invalidated, so maybe he's got enough fuel to go for another lap. We'll have to see, but Lee is pushing at the moment in through the double right-hander. He goes, and up. That was neat and tidy through there. The checkered flag has fallen, so anyone finishing a lap now, it's purple to the middle sector for Lee. Can he manage to snatch that pole position back? He managed to get provisional pole earlier. Prodigy crosses the line. He improves into P2 of 15.5, but it's not going to be good enough for pole. Lee rounds the final corner now. He's just got to boot it to the line. He's done all he can. What's it going to be? It's going to be P3 still. 15.6 is an improvement, but not enough. Paul's not on a lap. AJ's finished his lap. Ginger's coming around the final corner. Is he going to be able to snatch it away from Chuckle, who is in the pits and not improving? It's a 15.7. It's an improvement, but not enough for Paul. Paul's out. Chuck's now in the pits. Prof's finished his lap. Bugatti's finished. Bills looks like he's going slowly. Mazel's in the pits. And I think that's pretty much it. Everyone else is going slowly. Golden Wolf improves off the bottom row, but then is immediately knocked back down by Ernie Burney. What a great battle between them two this qualifying session. But there you have it. RTG Chuckle takes your pole position this evening. What a lap. 15.518. Prodigy not far behind, showing some amazing pace. This is Lee Craig in P3. He isn't far behind either. And it is all to play for in the race. I am looking forward to this one. I don't know about you guys. Who's your money on for this win? I mean, it's hard to look past the reigning champion Chuckle. He's just put it on pole position. He started the season off well in P2. It's going to be difficult to take it away from him. Can anyone take the fight to him? I'm sure there's a few hungry guns out there. Maybe a bit less to lose. It might put it all on the line. But there you have it. Look how close those times are. Chuckle gets pole position 0.034 behind his Prodigy. What an effort from him. And what an effort for Lee Craig as well. P3 for the Alfa Romeo driver. Then it's a Williams 4th and 5th. Again, two teammates very close to each other. They're going to be vying for position. AJ down in 6th. I'm sure he's wondering what could have been because he was sitting on provisional pole for a little while. Just got knocked further and further down. Didn't improve on his final run. Did it cost him? Did he have it in him? Chuck in P7. Prof P8. Bugatti P9. Bills rounds out the top 10. Hopefully Bills gets a better run than he did last week. He had an dismal race last week. Just had so much bad luck. So hope to him he gets a better run this time. And into the race we go. Looks like it's going to be dry to start with, but it is very overcast looking at those clouds. So could potentially get rain later. Who knows? If you are on the grid and you are have access to the weather forecast, do let me know. I'll be interested to see if it is likely to rain or not. We could certainly throw a spanner in the works, shall we say? As I am going to check some messages in there. But yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a very interesting one. While we do have this moment, I will once again go back to I mentioned and alluded to earlier that this channel has been running Moments of the Week, which has been a very, very interesting thing indeed. We've one video up so far, but we're definitely going to keep that going. And it's just a highlights reel of some of the best racing, some of the most interesting out there moments that have happened live on stream. Let's be honest, there is no substitute for being live. Every word that comes out of your mouth could be the wrong one. Murray Walker, the late Murray Walker knows that all too well. It brings the greatest moments though. The passion with the racing just in that moment is absolutely brilliant. And so LGE has very, very kindly put together these or edited a brilliant video together of all the best moments, and I think honestly you should go check it out. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. It put a smile on my face, made me laugh, and great as that Chuckle gives a little bit of a kick of the back end out of the hairpin just for fun. But we are going round. Let's get some graphics up. Let's go back to the racing, shall we? We'll take that away. And what strategy is everyone on? Well, I think, Ted, it's going to be a mix of strategies, and that's going to be very interesting. As that was my impression of Ted Grahavitz, which was absolutely awful, and we'll forget that ever happened. But it is the well, probably he will take the championship lead now, as long as he scores a few points. Chuckle starting off on the hard tyres, and the three drivers behind him, Prodigy, Lee and Ginge, all on mediums. So watch out for them at the start. They will get a lightning start and be very, very quick on the first few laps, but they will die off quicker. And again, any safety cars could play into effect. And then we got a trio of three hard runners again, and then another trio of medium runners as we go. Oh my goodness, what was that, Prodigy? What was that? They just slammed it in the wall. What an effort of a 360. But yeah, another trio of three medium runners, and then again, just a mix of strategies between medium and hards. Nobody going for the softs, but yeah, a 50-50 split pretty much on the grid. I think there's more mediums than hards. But it is pretty close, it has to be said. There's a few disqualifications. Bugatti, Looney Man and Phil all get disqualified. Pulling up to their start-finish spot. And Chuckle, look at the angle that Chuckle is at. He is parked his Haas very, very awkwardly. We've got 5 red lights. And away we go for round 2 at Imola. And it is a good start for Prodigy. He has jumped Chuckle right away into the lead on those mediums. He's used them to good advantage. Paul's had a cracking start on the hards. Up to P3. Lee's dropping down positions. Ginge goes round the outside. What a move that was. And everyone else pretty much sorting themselves out. Single fire Royal Rumble. And Matty goes side by side further back. Also LGE and Phil having a little bit of a battle. I think Phil's got the better of LGE there. Through the first game, but what a clean first lap. Ernie Burney gets past Aki, who's had a bit of a dismal start. Has the other Alfa Romeo, and Golden Wolf now dropping behind Danny into the final corner, but it's as you were. What a start from Prodigy, who jumps Chuckle into the first corner. Paul's had a cracking start on those hards. He's jumped up a few positions. We will get up the position change there for you. Zaki gets back past Ernie Burney, but now is the time for Prodigy to try and create a gap, as Paul's now holding up his teammate for P3. There's an AlphaTauri Royal trying to look at the back of LGE. Can he make a move? And the 2 Aston Martin swapping positions out the chicane. Don't know whether that was coordinated or not. Chuck goes down the inside of Bugatti. What a move that was. Not a conventional place, but a good move. And Bugatti has dropped all the way down. I don't know whether he ran wide, was 4th wide, because the chap, he's dropping down the order like a stone. And down to P15 he goes. I'm sure he's going to be cursing. I didn't quite catch exactly. It looked okay as far as I could see, but you never quite know. Was that one is done and dusted. Prodigy's now trying to pull a gap from Chuckle. That looked like it could be a track limits violation there. But Paul dropping off the back. Ginge really being hindered up by his teammate now. I think they may... Are we going to see any Williams team orders in a lap or two? They're certainly holding each other up at this point. Chuckle doing very, very well just to try and stay in that DRS range, but not quite doing it. And we've got LGE and Royal Rumble trading positions. LGE trying to go around the outside of the AlphaTauri. They're going to go side by side into here. That's not a place you want to go side by side, and LGE concedes the position. And probably a good idea that is, but it's going to leave him vulnerable to Bugatti, who's trying to make amends for losing positions earlier on. Through the chicane they go. And that's Mazzles, who's now lost the position to Prof. Prof making 2 positions in 2 laps out of the slow chicane. Good moves there. And are we going to see any movement? Prodigy fastest lap. Ginge is all over the back of his Williams teammate. Is he going to be close enough to make a move? Is Paul going to let him pass? Are they going to fight it out? It looks like Paul's not going to let him pass. This looks like it could well be a fight to the end. As Mazzles and Looney Man going side by side. Mazzles makes does make the position past Looney Man. And that's nicely done from the driver. We're going to go back to the tyre graphics. We can see who's gone up and down. Oh, is that Mercedes of Phil has gone round in the second chicane. Such an easy chicane to lose the back end through. And he's dropping down and going to be fighting Ernie Burney for position. And look at this, LGE and Aki. Aki's going to go up the inside of the Alpine. Great maneuver there. And oh, that's allowed Danny. Didn't see Danny coming around the outside. What a move from the AlphaTauri. Fantastic stuff. Things you love to see. I'm going to go back up to the leaders once again, because Paul dropping off the back of Chuckle, holding his teammate up here, and I'm sure his teammate's going to be none too happy about that. But we will have DRS now, and there it goes. The DRS flap opens, and it is insanely powerful at this track. And the Williams swap position, Paul pulls over, and I don't think he's going to fight that too hard. He knew there was no point. And through Ginge goes and into P3 and trying to make use of the mediums, and maybe he can tow his teammate along perhaps a little bit as they go through into the end of the first sector now. Have a look a bit further down. Goldenmore quite close to the back of LGE. A little bit of a train though going on. But what a clean opening start. We've had no retirements. Nobody's pitted for wing damage. We've had one spin. And that's it. And I think only Bernie had a little bit of a moment, but nothing too untoward. But yeah, what a clean start we've had. And that is what we've come to expect of RTG. Prodigy disappearing like he did in China on Wednesday's tier last week. It had to be said, he was very hard done by a late safety car. He was absolutely on course for a potential victory. Flying was the now Red Bull driver in this tier. Very, very quick as Ginge now goes fast as lap and showing a little bit of his pace as he gets in DRS range of Chuckle. Yeah, Prodigy very, very quick and just stringing it all together, putting it all together at the moment, and a very interesting prospect for the next few weeks and going on to the next game. Has to be said, you see Bill's very, very close to the back of Chuck. We are pretty much pushing him round. Bugatti, I think that is, has gone round and he's lost his wing. That's the first bit of damage we've seen this evening. Bugatti lost his front wing, and Ernie Burney's going to have to try and find a way past, and through he goes. And that's going to be a very, very painful lap for the Ferrari, I'm afraid. Paul has gone with Ginge. As we said, he hasn't been dropped by his teammate, despite Ginge setting fast his lap. The Williams on the alternate strategy is keeping up well, and is definitely going to use some DRS, I imagine, to help tow him along. And so Chuckle becomes... Oh, there was a little bit of a wiggle there from Paul, and is that going to allow Lee a little bit of a chance, a little bit of a sniff of getting an extra position? He's going to hope so. He is on the medium tyres. He probably wants to make a move if he can, but both have DRS. And Bills gets past Chuck further back with an easy DRS past. And up to P7 he goes, and chasing after the top 6 now. But, I think Paul manages to hold on to that, but it certainly left him a little bit vulnerable. DRS still pulled him on, but it has dropped him out of DRS range of Ginge, and there Lee goes, and they're going to be side by side, are they? But no, I think Paul's got a little bit more battery or a little bit lower wings than the Alfa Romeo, because he just manages to sneak ahead coming into the apex, and this is costing him time, dropping him out of the DRS zone. This is really what Lee Craig wants, because then he can DRS past Paul and maybe see if he can catch up, who knows. But Chuck and Bills have swapped positions once again. Was that a mistake potentially from Bills? It's not a conventional overtaking spot. You only ever get past there if there's been a mistake, so I think Bills, after getting past the Haas, immediately gets overtaken again. There's Ginge now right behind the Haas of Chuckle. Remember how powerful DRS is? Look at that. It's so overpowered on this track, it's insane. And through the Williams goes. I do think they need to nerf it a little bit, it has to be said, but there we go. Oh, I was going to say Aki and Matty. Aki makes a move into turn 1 and is up to P13 and on the charge for points. His Alfa Romeo teammates up there in P5, and I'm sure Aki will be wanting to join him by the end of the day. He's certainly got the consistency. It's 2/10 quicker through Sector 1 thanks to that DRS. It's a personal best Sector 1. It's been a very, very tame race so far, it has to be said. Everybody being very well behaved, very clean, and things you love to see, it has to be said. You know, it's great for us watching a drama-filled race, but it's certainly to take part in. It's nice to have uninterrupted racing, just pure flat-out racing. As the McLaren of Bills now lines up for a potential pass on the Haas again. Both don't have much battery, so neither has much to attack or defend with. And Chuck defends the inside, round the outside the McLaren goes and into turn one. It's again a straightforward move thanks to DRS, but he made it work well for him. And up into P7 he goes once again. And, Ginger's now 3 seconds behind Prodigy. Chuckle holding on nicely in the DRS range. Matthew in the chat, what a race this has been so far. Well done, boys. Absolutely. From us watching, it's been a... Oh, Zerny Bernie now goes round and does a few 360s and pirouettes. And retires on track as well. And I'm sure that's going to be in the steward's room for certain. But we move on. But yeah, what a race has been. Yeah, from our point of view, watching, it's been a boring one, but it's been a good race actually. It's some really close battles on track. This Chuck, I imagine, is going to want to try and get past Bills again. They're going to DRS leapfrog each other. Just got Bugatti out of the back of the field thanks to his wing damage. Ernie Bernie retiring on track, giving up the ghost very early indeed. As Chuck, is he going to be close enough to make a move? No, he's just not got any battery left, and I think Bills has a little bit more battery now because it's not flashing anymore. He saved a bit on that lap, which is very clever driving from the McLaren. You just want to save enough and try and drag yourself up towards AJ, but there's a 3-second gap at the moment. Matty and Aki very close, still on track. After getting past, Aki has not been able to shake Matty, it has to be said. Aki very close to the DRS of Royal Rumble, further up, but not quite there. Matthew, it'd be good to see how the alternate strategy plays out for Chuck and Paul. Well, honestly, if it stays like this, we don't get any major dramas, we don't get any safety cars, that sort of thing, that will throw a spanner in the works. I think Chuckle's in the driving seat to win this. I really, really do. As Matty... Oh, speaking of which, that is the safety car. What did we just say could potentially happen as Bills gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's coming quickly. Look what has happened to Matty. He's obviously lost the back end. That has caused the safety car, throwing a massive spanner in the works. A lot of people have come into pit. Chuck's in the pit, Bills is in the pit, Prof's in the pit, Looney Man's in the pit, Royal Rumble is, Aki, Danny, LGE and Gold Wolf. That has really thrown a spanner in the works, that has. A few of the drivers have gone past, and they, fortunately for them, have gone past the safety car, so they still have an option to pit, but that has thrown this race on its head, because the hard compound runners were all... yes, exactly, Matthew. You spoke too soon, I spoke too soon. The hard compound tyre runners, I think, were on course for winning easily. They were going to be so overpowered later on in the race. But that really plays into the hands of the medium runners, because they're going to be able to pit and go to the end on hards, whereas the guys on hards are going to pit, go to mediums, and they're not going to be able to run to the end. So do they stay out? Do they go on mediums, hope for a later safety car? I think that's all they can do, really. Go on mediums, see how long they last. You just never know. Let's see. Prodigy, unsurprisingly, in the pits. Ginge in the pit. Also, remember, Paul has to double stack behind his teammate, or will do. Ginge in, Chuckle in, Paul in, Lee in. Yeah, they know it. They'd just be sitting ducks if they stayed out. Mazzles, is he going to stay out? Is he going to come in? He is going to pit as well. I don't know if Bills is going to get past any of these guys, but yeah. Oh, it's a nice little drift coming out of the pit there from Ginge. Things you love to see. As we'll watch Prodigy come out of the pits, and I think Bills will he get any of these guys on track. I think it could be close with him and a few of them. Down he goes. There's going to be a few of them coming out of the pits now. Well, there's the pit line, and yeah, Paul's got it. And Chuck does slot in behind. But remember, Bills went it too quickly into that pit lane, and now he has a 5-second penalty as a result. And that is going to cost him, as Phil's now in the pit as well again. Well, this could make things very spicy. It certainly does. It throws a big spanner in the works now. It really does. Because Chuckle's got it all to do to get ahead of Ginger and Prodigy. And then he's got to build a gap, but a gap big enough that he's going to have to pit in, which is going to be very, very difficult to do. It has to be said. This is played into Prodigy's hands, and anyone else that started on the mediums. It really has. It was such bad timing for those that started on the hards. Really, really bad timing. As I think now everyone has now completed a pit stop. Bugatti didn't. The only driver not to complete a pit stop under that safety car. However, he did pit a few laps earlier, thanks to that wing damage. So yeah, definitely throwing a spanner in the works. I think now it's changed things on its head. Chuckle, I think, was in the driving seat to win, but I think that momentum has now swung very quickly back to Prodigy. Yeah, Matthew, Prodigy or Ginger for the win? Well, the way Prodigy checked out and was holding the gap, I wouldn't bet against him. I would not bet against him. Safety car in this lap. What a late call that is. That is a diabolical call. It has to be said. That gives Prodigy no chance to create a good restart. And this leaves him incredibly vulnerable. He can do nothing but just sit and just be vulnerable. Look at this. Ginge right behind him. He can easily predict when he's going to go. He's going to be in the slipstream. Prodigy is going to defend to the inside. Ginger's going to go around the outside. The Red Bull's going to shut that door. There goes Bill's off the track. He's lost it. Paul also looks like he's lost a few positions further down as well. They're going to be side by side with AJ Baker. AJ goes into the back of the Alpine Elite. Craig nearly going into that chicane. It is chaos on the restart. Bill's right to the back of the field now after that. But wow, what a restart. That was an awful, awful call. Whose is that? Is that Danny? Possibly side by side with Aki trying to get the position. Aki manages to hold on to it though into the left-hander. Great racing. There's a Golden Wolf running ridiculously wide further back. That has got to be a warning, surely. But yeah, what well defended from Prodigy under immense pressure. He got given no chance by the game to create a good restart for himself. He got absolutely shafted, but he defended that like a lion. That was very, very good defending indeed. AJ sends it up the inside of Lee Craig. What a move from him. That was absolutely, Matthew. What a tight restart that was. It certainly was. I didn't know which way to look. It was incredible. As we now see also Chuckle at the back of Ginge. Is he going to be able to make a move? He really wants to on those mediums. He's going to be so much more grip. He needs to make the moves. Chuck now gets past Lee Craig as well further back. But yeah, not enough time and space. We have no DRS, bearing in mind right now. But we do have the slipstream, which is or can be quite powerful at times. As Chuckle now on the back of Ginge, he's going to send it up the inside. He goes for it. Ginge leaves him a little bit of space as he does, but he's got the outside line and the better drive coming out of it. But Chuckle desperate to make this move. He really, really wants this position. Royal Rumble gets past Aki further back. Or Aki gets past Royal Rumble rather, as they trade positions. And look at that, the 3 wide. LGE trying to get in on the action as well. And Royal Rumble and Aki still at it. Vangma and Tongs. Phils goes up the inside of LGE. There's contact between Phils and Danny. I think they both got away with it. Just about. That's great stuff, that was. Oh no! Chuckle! He's done a Charles Leclerc! Chuckle has done a Charles Leclerc and he's gone from P3 right down to the back of the grid and out of the points. The defending champion is in all sorts of trouble here as LGE and Danny and sorry, I don't even know who he's side by side with, but he's side by side with somebody. I'm losing my words. There's nowhere to look. He's side by side with Bugatti across the line. This is incredible stuff. I can't see who's ahead. It is the Ferrari at the moment, and that is going to be Phils that goes up the inside now into turn 1. There's going to be a little bit of contact, but they get away with it. Oh no, do they? There's people all over the track. What is going on? This is absolute carnage. Chucky's round. Looney Man's round. Chuckle is round for a second time. He's in the wall, but he's still going. Unbelievable. Bills and Phil going side by side into there. If Golden Wolf gets the penalty for ignoring yellow flags, I imagine he'll probably try and get that done. Matthew, this is getting tension between Ginger and Chuckle. Spoken to you soon again. Yeah, definitely. If you were watching, Matthew, could you please tell me what just happened in the last 30 seconds? Because I have absolutely no idea. That was, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most crazy 30 seconds of a race I've ever seen. It was... I'm sure I said this was turning into a boring race earlier. As I try and catch my breath, I do not know what to say. I can tell you one thing, though. That is going on moments of the week. So make sure you check that video out at the end of the week. Wow. Wow, oh, wow. Bills on the back of his teammate Golden Wolf. Both have 5-second penalties. It's going to be DRS, and he's going to fly past his teammate. The two Hasses are bottle jobs. Yeah, look at them. Oh, there's contact between Chuck and Phils. What has gone on there? The Haas has pushed the Mercedes off the track. I didn't see, but there's a little bit of a wiggle. He is going to wait up for the Mercedes in good spirits, and fair play to him. That is good racing. He also lets Aki through as well, who's had a little bit of an issue. I gather he's dropped a few positions further back, but the two Hasses running in the position that Haas like best. Last and second to last. Disaster. Absolute disaster. Prodigy, meanwhile, holding up. Ginger's used more battery. Prodigy saved it really well. I can't see how much battery AJ's got. He's not got much either, so he's using it. Paul also holding on quite nicely, but they are on the mediums, bear in mind. They really want to be making some moves at this point. If anything. Yeah, not quite. But yeah, Prodigy holding that lead very, very nicely. Good time for Ginger and Pod with the chuckle on the mediums on. Absolutely. Could not agree more. Absolute crazy. That was sheer madness. I do not know. I caught a few of the people. I think I caught a few of the main protagonists going, but I think we missed most of them. It was absolute, just chaos. Yeah, I don't know what else you can say about that. People left, right, and centre going all over the place. I have to check. Yeah, Chuckle, I did think had a bit of damage. He's in the pits and very close to being lapped at this point. He won't get lapped. He will get away with it. He straps on a new set of mediums, and really only a safety car. Really only a safety car can help him out now. Bullet comes catch without action. Not much. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. As Golden Wolf gets the time penalty. I think I missed most of it, in all honesty. Don't give me too much credit. It was yeah. Where did you look? Where do you look? Yeah, Ginge still tagging on the DRS of Prodigy. Prodigy setting up really, really strong pace on those hards. And looking in a very, very strong position, as we said. Ginge also looking pretty good. AJ and Paul looking strong, but on those mediums, they really want to be making some moves here. Just not close enough. It has to be said. So have we got anyone else making any sort of moves? Looney Man closer back of Golden Wolf, but not close enough. Izaki close to the back of Phil's, not close enough. Once again, Chuck is now on the back of these guys. And it's now become a three-way DRS train for 15th. We're going to be fighting each other, giving as much as they can do, I'm sure. Pull quite close to the back of AJ. Perhaps AJ's slipping off a little bit. Just ebbs and flows, but then through the chicane, AJ gains quite a bit. As does Ginge on Prodigy, and he is going to be reasonably close to the back of that Red Bull. We do have a Looney Man. We have a Looney Man who is round, but we're going to go back to the front because I think Ginger's as close as he's ever been. Phils gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Could lose him a few positions. The DRS wide open on the Williams. He's going to get closer to the Red Bull, but he's not going to be close enough. Cab in turn 1. And that is his battery light starting flashing as well. Prodigy just needs to keep this up. How much battery does he have? He doesn't have much, but he has more than the Williams does. What are my thoughts on the new game? Reckon it'll be any better? And have you pre-ordered it yet? No, I have not pre-ordered it. I've never pre-ordered this early. I've only ever pre-ordered once, and that was last year's or this year's game now. Sorry, so this time last year it was Danny and Royal going side by side. Danny makes a move as Lee Craig gets himself a time penalty, and that could cost him. At the moment he's got a 3-second gap to Mazzles, but could potentially cost him a little bit more. Bugatti all over the back of Royal now. Back in the race after that wing damage earlier on, remember. Doing very well. Chuckle now, fastest lap, no surprise. There's at least an extra point for him. But yeah, no, I've never pre-ordered other than this game. Very wide there. And I only ordered that after I saw the YouTubers, content creators had a go on the game, so I could see what it was like, and I got a feel for the handling. Just by watching, you can kind of pick up on a lot what the game is like, and I decided, yeah, I'm going to do it. This one I'll probably do the same, in fairness. But we're going to get back to the action for now, because Bugatti is very, very close to the back of the AlphaTauri, and he's going to try and go round. Chuckle gets himself a time penalty. Track limits, and that is a lot of speed taken into turn 1 for the Ferrari and Bugatti, but that is a very nice move indeed. And now LGE is going to come up the inside of the AlphaTauri, but the AlphaTauri covers him off and nearly made a move. And that's Phil's now further back, who's had a bit of a moment and is now dropped behind, and Chuck now is let loose on the back of Aki. Oh, there's Phil's in the background. He's gone flying off. And very, very lucky not to come out and cause another safety car then and DNF himself. But back to the grid he goes, bar Chuckle. They're back with the leaders because they are staying quite close. AJ very close to the back of Ginge as well. But yeah, no, I definitely get it, I think, and the new game. Am I looking forward to it? Don't know. I'm sceptical. There's the Mercedes very, very close to the back of the Williams. He's going to go around to the outside, but Williams does shut that door. And onwards we go for another lap. The Mercedes definitely looking the quicker driver of the lot here. At the moment, he's really picked up the pace as he needs to do so. Yeah, I'm sceptical. I'm worried because this game, honestly, this game has the basis for being one of the best F1 games it's ever been. I think the handling's so much more dynamic, so much more realistic than it ever has been. There are really, that didn't look like it was in the pit lane at the time, but there we go. There are really diabolical glitches in the handling, it has to be said, especially after their major update patch. It was brilliant before them. LGE now gets past Royal Rumble. That's a good move there from the Alpine, and up to P10 he goes on those mediums. Yeah, so, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, I just want them to make a working game. I hope they've spent enough time making the game work and ironing out all the problems. That's Paul now, very close to the back of AJ. It was AJ looking the quicker driver a lap earlier, but Paul's going to go round the outside. They're going to be side by side through the Tamburello chicane, and the Mercedes does have the line coming out, but they're still side by side. Will Paul be able to hold it round the outside? He's going to give it a go. It turns to the inside for the next. There's a bit of contact, and that loses the back end and unsettles the car and Paul, and that is exactly what they need to change on next year's game. The handling, the contact model. You know, you can't be on the inside, because if you're on the inside and you tap the side pod, it's in the instant spin. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it was a good battle. It was a very, very good battle. The only bad thing about this game is the traction. The couple of glitches in the game, like Zelta for the safety car. Yes, the Oh, AJ got himself a 3-second time penalty there. That's not good. And that could leave him very vulnerable to pull. Yeah, the time delta's been a problem for a couple of games, and it's worse on the older tracks like the Spa and like China where they haven't updated them. The time delta is particularly weak and very glitchy on. So I think we're going to see Paul possibly make this move now. He goes to the outside of the Mercedes, and there's going to be no contest this time round. Oh, what's happened there? Was that a glitch? That must have been a glitch because it said Prod and Ginge swap positions. I briefly caught it out the corner of my eye. That was a very strange thing, that they were miles away from each other. Unless Ginge maybe, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a new game. The handling model on this game, the basis is there. Like, you know, it was challenging, it's fun, it was dynamic. It just wasn't an arcadey, full-on arcadey handling model. It was just the same, corner to corner. It always maintained the same. They've tried to influence the tyre pressures into it a bit more, and it gives the flex of the sidewall. You can feel it in the force feedback a bit more, and it sort of makes a bit more dynamic handling. But it seems to have created a few odd glitches, and well, that's my personal opinion anyway. And I think that has kind of ruined it in a certain degree. The original basis, before they did the massive update, the early update, I think it was brilliant. I really do think it was brilliant. As soon as they updated it, they absolutely wrecked it. Absolutely wrecked it. It really just, it became trash. Like, there were so many glitches and, you know, so many weird wheel spin glitches as well. Like where it would wind up like a yo-yo, I said. As you went up through the gears, you go second, third, fourth, fifth, and each bit of wheel spin in each gear would build, and it would transfer to the next gear. And that just doesn't happen in real life. We've seen Looney Man go past Aki, and it would just sort of wind up, and it would the outcome would be in the dry on soft tyres, you could get wheel spin in 7th or 8th gear, and that's just ridiculous. In any respect, it really was. As that Golden Wolf goes round at the hairpin, the McLaren, both McLaren's not having a good day today. I mean, he's dropped a few positions and laid a bit of dirt on the track. Personally, think the new game should have better traction. Just listen to what the community want. Respond to that. Absolutely. Forget story mode. Forget all of this fancy mumbo jumbo that is up marketing. I get it sells games, but just make the same game, but focus on improving it. I don't care if they missed the game cycle out. I really spent some time working it out. I would much rather them do that, in all fairness with you. But yeah, there we go. They'll never do that because it's about selling money at the end of the day, and you know they can listen to the community, but they wouldn't sell as many games without the marketing. And it's, you know, they've got to put these flashy story modes in and stuff like that, like to sell the game. That's what it's all about, really. At the end of the day, that's what sells it, and that's what gets them the money. There's that. It's a bit of a mistake from Prodigy there. He runs very, very wide. He is pushing very hard, it seems, to try and get out of the DRS range and Ginge. He's very, very close, teetering on the edge. That looked like a track limits warning as well. He's got to be careful there. He's nearly out of DRS range, but he's so powerful on this track. And he's just started getting his battery light flashing. That's going to cost him, as they lap the car of Golden Wolf. And he gets out of the way very nicely, even though he's ghosted. Very good of him to do so. But yeah, that's oh, there's a little error there from Ginge. just a little error, loss of the back end. I don't think he's lost much time. Bills gets past Danny into turn one. That's a good move there. Leaning man. Oh, Bugatti's in the pits. My apologies on that one. But yeah, Bills up into 8th place. And a nice recovery drive from him. But he does have that penalty looming large over his head, don't forget. As Paul gets himself a 3-second time penalty for track limits. I don't think it's going to affect him too much with the guys behind. But he may have to pit again on those mediums. It could cost him, but Ginge is really... Oh, there's another mistake from Ginge. Could that cost him the DRS zone? I think it will, you know. 1.2 seconds, the detection point is just down there, and that could be the break that Prodigy needs. He's been trying to break that DRS zone, and he's just done it this lap with a mistake from Ginge. He doesn't have much battery, neither does Gingy. Prodigy actually has a little bit more. Not much though to play around with, and he needs to keep that DRS well out of reach of the Williams, and he will have this race wrapped in the bag. He needs to keep it neat and tidy on this lap, and he's starting to extend the gap now, and that is a crucial break for the Red Bull. The Williams really struggling now, perhaps on those tyres, really not got the car set up quite as well as the Red Bull. He's dropping time hand over fist as they're going side by side. Further back, is that Paul and AJ? It certainly is. AJ trying to make a move. Paul cuts back across him as he's right to do so. He's still ahead just about. And AJ is frustrated once more. Golden Wolf getting another penalty as they go through the double apex right-hander. It's a yellow flag in sector 1. Who is that? I don't know. I think it may have been Royal. I don't know. But we'll go back. But yeah, Prodigy now streaking ahead. Ginge struggling. Prod deserves a win from what I've seen, but fair play to Ginge keeping close. Absolutely. I think Prodigy's just been that little bit better. They're both driven fantastically, but I think Prodigy's just been that just tiny bit better at every step than Ginge. He's kept his battery better. He's kept Ginge at a distance. He's kept his head nice and calm. And yeah, AJ very close to the back of Paul. Running through the chicane. Is he going to be able to make a move? He is incredibly close. Paul knows it. He's going to have to go defensive. What a battle. AJ goes round the outside, turns to the inside for the next corner, but he can't quite do it. Paul swoops round the outside of the second, and Chuckle gets himself a penalty. Speeding in the pit lane, and could that be a pit lane retirement? I expect to see it in a minute perhaps, but I know Chuckle never gives up, so I would be surprised. It's just a little bit wide from Paul. Is it close to another penalty again? You don't want to be doing that. What a battle this is. Absolutely is. And the thing is as well, what makes it more intriguing is those mediums, I would imagine will last to the end. Well, they're going to be pretty dead. They're going to be pretty dead by the end. So it's not just a case of who can go the quickest. It's a case of who can look after their tyres and drive on worn tyres better than anyone else. And I mean, if we put the penalties up on screen as well, I think they're all pretty much null and voiding each other out. They're not going to gain any positions in Prod because their tyres are only going to go off. And the way you can see they're dropping back now already. They do have a 5-second gap to Mazzles, who has no penalties. Mazzles on the mediums as well. Yeah. It's only really Prof as we see. Who is that? Is that LGE? LGE has spun round in the Alpine, and I think he's going to get away without losing any positions. There's a couple of cars in the distance behind him. It's Aki and Golden Wolf, but LGE just needs to give it a straight line. His tyres will be overheated after that. I think he's going to hold on to it for the minute. I'm going to go back with this battle for the final spot on the podium. Paul going for three podiums in a row. Well, maybe he did at the end of the season. I can't remember, but 2 podiums in a row so far this season. Oh dear, sorry, excuse me. Try and get some cider down my throat. Losing my voice a bit. I was hoping for a good season this time round, and maybe pushing in the top 5 most races. Absolutely, but we're going to go back to the action now because I think AJ is going to make this move on Paul. DRS open, Paul defends the inside, but that DRS is so powerful. And through the Mercedes goes, and into P3. He takes it. This is going to be a battle right to the end, I can tell. What a drive from AJ this has been. He's driven very, very well. Yeah, Matthew, you've done incredibly well, honestly, and I'm pretty proud of where you got to, because your consistency is definitely coming to you. You just need to be patient with it. Just keep pushing with it, and even when you do spin, just keep going. Just keep pushing, because you never know what's going to come out of it. And yeah, you definitely get there. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Who is that? It is Prof. I think Prof's had a moment, and Bills has managed to get past him. And Bill's making a nice recovery. It has to be said, he does have that penalty looming over him. You put the position change in a minute, please. So you drive the day. Absolutely, I certainly can. Where is position change? There is the position changes for you, my dear boy. There's, Danny, probably the most positions gained on track with 9. And his teammate not far behind, up 7. Chuckle definitely the biggest loser, down 16. I think it has to be said, Mazzles has had a good race. He's been a very lonely race, but he has had a very, very solid race. As Chuck now goes in the pits, probably going for the fastest lap, I imagine. Yeah, I mean, who do you vote for your driver of your day? There's a few. Ooh, a little wiggle there from Mazzles. Driving very well. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a difficult call, actually, because yeah, I think Danny's done very, very well. He's got 9 positions, P18 to P9. That's a great effort from him. Mazzles has had a brilliant race, I think. Gone under the radar somewhat. We haven't really seen him, but like I say, he's been in a lonely race. He's not been around anyone, but he's basically been in a league of his own, behind the top sort of 5, but well, 6 when it was Chuckle, but well ahead of anyone else behind him. And your other option for me surely has to be this man here, Prodigy, in the Red Bull. He's led every lap, I believe. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he has led every lap and has not faltered. He's got screwed over with a safety car, and then a safety car that went in at the most ridiculous of times. But he's held on. He's not succumbed to the pressure, as we see. Oh no! Paul Jones Jr. is round. He's definitely lost the fight for the podium. Mazzles is past him. That is a very, very uncharacteristic mistake from Paul, whose tyres are burning now and he cannot even go in a straight line. So Williams has gone round, he's lost his wing. He's got a puncture, that's what it is! He's got a puncture! That explains so much. He is struggling to get going in a straight line. Wow, okay, Mazzles, AJ, they're all on really, really old mediums. I didn't realise they were that close. Wow, okay, this is now a ticking time bomb for those guys. As Paul now goes round once again, he is, I mean, it's game over for him. Gutted for him. He tried to hang it out, make it last. Oh, AJ and Mazzles, can they hang on? AJ driving an incredible race to try and stay there. I'm just watching them now. This is very, very close. Prodigy is on his final lap. Mazzles now going through as well. Will he be able to hold on? It's still a yellow in sector 2. The Paul's going to be lapped. He is making such poor progress. And no surprise, really. And yeah, just cuts the corner. Don't blame him there. Either Danny or Mazzles, I would say, for drive of the day. Matthew, good shout. Chuck gets fastest lap. Paul retires on track, potentially. really does, but I don't blame him, to be honest with you. But we are going to watch Prodigy come around the final corner, and he is going to take the win of round 2. Well done, Prodigy. Ginge will come home P2. AJ will come home in third. He will hang on those mediums. Fair play to him. Lee, a fantastic 4th. AJ backed off massively in the end. At the end, you could see Mazzles as well, round into P5. Bills is right behind him, chasing. So the medium runners really dropping off a cliff at the end there. They really were protecting it. Danny will go up to P7. Wow, after penalties. Okay. Looney Man up. Royal Rumble will drop. Bugatti now to do it. I'm going to put the position change back up again. That changes things potentially because Mazzles has gained an extra position and he's made those mediums last, which I'm very impressed with. And Danny's gained an extra couple of positions out of that as well at the end. Ooh. Who would you vote driver of the day? Danny or Mazzles? Or Prodigy? It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one, but what a race. Prodigy, absolutely in charge of this one, controlled it from start to finish. What a great drive from him. Driver of the day goes to Danny on the game side. I can't disagree with it. At the moment, I can't agree with it. I'm going to have to go away and have a think about that, I think. Unless Matthew wants to put his vote, or anyone else watching at home as well, put your vote in who you thought the driver of the day was. And maybe we'll go on a fan's vote. But wow. Okay. Prodigy takes the win in round 2. And what a race. What a race from him. It was. Ginge takes P2, and I mean, I'm not going to do any maths because my maths is appalling. But I want to have a look at what the driver standings could potentially be. Where are the standings? Where was Prodigy? Prodigy DNF the last race. So he will take the win. He'll be right up there, although obviously with this race win. Ginge was on 9 points. Do you know what? You look at the top 4 in the championship. Josh McGill, Chuckle, Paul and Chuck all had bad races there. Aki, also Prof, AJ. AJ might take the lead here. Never know. It's going to be close, so I'm going to be interested in the standings. But there you have it. Prodigy takes the race victory. Nearly 3-second gap to Ginge in the end. Well controlled by him. Ginge, nice P through. AJ rounds the podium P3. Lee Craig P4. Mazzles P5. Prof P6. Danny in P7. Bills P8. Looney Man P9. And Royal Rumble will round out the top 10. Well, I'm trying to work it out in my head. I don't know who's going to... I think AJ... It's going to be AJ, Ginge, Prodigy are going to be right up there now. This makes this very, very close and interesting. LGE is going to vote for Danny. And, yeah, let's go with him. We got 2 votes in the chat for Danny, and the game gave it to him. So, let's not argue with that. Danny, driver of the day. And I will post that in the chat. I will post that in the chat in a minute. But what a race. What a race. That started off as a very clean, sort of boring race and then got incredibly interesting. That safety car really threw a spanner in the works. And, well, don't even know what to say after that. What a race. I'm going to watch that one back because I'm going to try and fathom what actually happened, especially in the middle part of that race. Could not keep up. But well done to everyone involved. Thank you. Also, everyone tuning in. Thank you very much for joining us. And also, you know, anyone commenting, thank you ever so much getting involved. It's been great sharing this race with you. And thank you very much. LG, aren't you supposed to be my teammate? Yeah, we got Mazzles a little bit indignant in the chat because his teammates voted for somebody else. Fair play though, Mazzles. If you are listening, you drove a fantastic race, and I'm interested to know if you are still there. What was your tyre percentage at the end? Because Paul got that puncture at the end, and both you and AJ backed right off on the last lap. So it got to have been close to puncture territory, surely. So fair play to you. Drove incredibly well, but yeah, maybe runner-up driver of the day. I think. Maybe next time. Who knows? But yeah, what a race! What a race! 82%. Unbelievable. Very very lucky. Well driven. And hats off to you driving on 82% tyre wear. That is an incredible feat, and to hold your positions. Yes, like your name, Mazel's 82. Absolutely, that's a very good spot. I didn't notice that. Well done to you, and yeah, well done everyone. Well done AJ as well, because he must have been on fairly similar sort of levels of tyre wear. What a race that was, and I hope you all join me next week. We'll wrap things up there, I think. Well done to everyone involved, and catch you next week in a bit.